and case of being as small as possible to escape. The one thing I never was about when you've been around Lady Key, no one really knows. Some are figurines Asimas, it could be just Delve,
Tall, pretty lady.
but her demeanor, her aura, for an Asima, been right. Either respect her or fear her. And you just gotta hope she's gonna be your friend. Icing cake, the third session that we had.
Yeah.
Tall, pretty lady.
So pretty lady with legs for days.
And plans for longer.
Nice. Now what?
At this point, you go as you turn up in the canteen. You're not sure how you got there, it's just how you did. It's. Oh, a moment. Right back with you. And you leave the party for a moment. You head over to the table where Krikra only is. And you can Krikra just sit up and who's Coney with the rat folk. And they start discussing things. Get the feeling that there's a lot of reporting how they're doing.
Shifros takes a quick look back at the kitchen to make sure everything's, not burning down back there.
Okay, I'm sorry. My mic's not picking me up, but twice now I've said hello.
What was that?
Ah, fuck. Okay. She just approaches them and is like, "Hello."
Hello there.
Hi, I'm Francine.
Raphael, look at you, whisper just gives a very critical look. Big eyes, pretty much the same.
What is it?
Thing we can help you with?
Oh no, I was just saying hello.
No. Hey.
She's just standing there.
I'm Sniffle. Sniffle, I lead this party. This is Whisper, this is but the other members who have not been named.
Well, it's very nice to meet you all.
This is Krikra, who is not talking on the second bits every time they seem to have opportunity. No, at all. And if you're lucky, you keep giving Krikra a bit of a approving look.
Omnius is wandering and just sees Lady Kiki and Kikwa talking and is like, either this is something really good happening, or I'm about to get stabbed.
I sense you two know each other?
Yes. Q and I are friends?
You have encounters, you get on fairly well enough. But, hey, you get the understanding that Krikra has worked with Halls before. Mostly work on the espionage lessons for the guilds that Cervantes knows nothing about, but he's very squeaky clean. Back in the kitchen, yeah, it's always going fine. apparently, in the back, as you can see, Ramsey was eating a pudding with tears of joy coming down his face.
Wait, Ramsey's happy about something?
Yes,
That's possible?
which is
I'm
in the count of 5, 3, 2, 1. Focus up, no! Pudding! And now there's a sound of a fight in the back of the kitchen.
Sensations I shall never know. Alas.
What a bird brain.
All this over pudding. Like,
Well, at least I still have my ice cream.
Yes, very nice.
Admittedly, since Okusan came back, the warehouse full of cinnamon is only at half capacity now.
at least it's getting used. By the way, how is cinnamon smell in your room there, Omnius?
It is. It is.
Is at this point the snack shows up. He's out of the armor. He's basically disgusting himself down because he's covered in black smoke and shit. Goddamn intern to listen to. He then meets Tifos eye to eye. Just stares for a moment and just moves on. No remarks, no thoughts, whatever. He just on the move today.
Snark is in bad shape. We must cheer him up later.
Yes, I agree.
How nice.
Yes, it is nice.
For once, Shifrost and Omnius can agree on something.
So at this point, speaking of nice, good friend Chifos, it was good to see you upon this day.
Oh, no.
How fare you?
Hello, Tiny. Relatively well. How are you?
Oh, most excellent. Just come back from assisting the village, dealing with the bandits. It's most satisfying to see that with just a little persuasion that they can turn their life around for the better.
Can I eat this one?
He is very big.
Should eat him.
I probably could.
Why would you do that?
Francine, if there's anything I can tell you, everything is edible at least once.
Luminous, it is good to see you again, buddy. And then gives you a hug.
My splanch.
Son, your splanch can feel some of your ribs cracking.
Okay, Francine, life lesson 1. Tiny, have you met Francine yet?
He then, well, mindfully drops ominous. Ah, Francine, a new face, a new friend. It's so good to see you.
It's very nice to meet you.
Omnius is just on the floor, just kind of, wing is kind of bent the wrong way.
Oh no!
Francine, show him your weapon.
Oh, yes.
This is my maul. She just pulls out the big fuck off maul.
Oh, it is a most excellent weapon. Allow me to show you mine. As she pulls out his big old two-handed sword that goes ting.
How big is it?
Impressively big.
At least double the length that you are tall.
I see your sword is as big as mine.
Now let's see how well you handle it.
Omnius on the floor. It's not the size that matters.
What was that about this being Raven After Dark?
this point, Lady Kiki returns, and she and Tiny look at her for a moment, and it's Tiny seems to shift uneasily. My apologies, my good friends. I find I need to be elsewhere. Talk to you later.
All right. See you.
I love how Amius just does not register how uneasy people are around Lady Kiki.
Shifrost doesn't either. He doesn't understand it. But there are reasons for this.
Oh, I know there are.
Francine's got nothing. She's just like, she seems like a nice lady.
At this point, Snap comes back. He's just wrap himself down with a cloth. You lots. I hear you're taking her ladyship on a tour of the guild.
Yes, we are. We were by your class earlier today, too.
Quite right.
I'm sure it was an explosive experience.
Very. Mostly for
Informative.
him.
Omni is still on the floor, slightly singed.
Oh, you backflipped out of that way. You've just been crushed.
Yeah. I've been crushed so hard it created a friction burn.
Francine applauds you.
If maybe you want a tour of the labs, I have nothing else going on for the day.
I do believe that would be appropriate.
Okay, please, folks. Your ladyship.
As is her ladyship done with the meeting she was having?
Oh, she's done.
Okay.
That's why Tiny Skidoo it was a case of he met him on easy. And for anyone wants to say, it's a similar reason to Tyrant. So you led through the corridors. You're noting the paintings of past heroes, present heroes.
Heroes yet to come.
You see a lot of portraits of Snow. He makes an excellent subject to paint because there's so many colours, and he doesn't move for hours because. And there's one portrait of basically Tiny in a toga, carrying Okasan on his shoulder as they pose heroically.
Most impressive.
He was a present. Some heroes no longer.
Are there tributes to these fallen heroes?
A few statues, a few portraits of the fallen. One notable one is collected works of basically regulars. Was Tom, Dick, and Harry and Dave.
Yes, the Isle of Dave.
You see the portrait of basically they're very generic looking entering bonds. But the thing to take away from it, Dave happy. Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know Dave could be happy.
Francine just sort of like has her hands in like little praying symbol thing. Not that she prays, but like, you know, she's paying respects.
If you start using the symbol of 9.
No, she has to pull out a pentagram.
Start with 6 points. Got it.
Why did I say that?
I don't know.
It just popped into my head.
Eventually you reach the labs, it's basically big metal, things are bolted down. But just was the very unpleasant sight of the Pelford shells. Think about put together dozens of times for people trying to figure out his works. Unseen, you look at that thing and shiver.
Oh,
The feeling that thing daughter like yourself, but wrong at the same time.
what is this thing again?
The Felfords.
Oh,
I don't know what that is, but it sounds scary.
It's at this point, Snacks explains, well, Jeffos probably remembers this thing, but for the rest of you, and for her ladyship, maybe she's in the know of here. She's it. Because of this thing, apparently coming from information from the gear heart, this thing is helpful. Like a gear force that you around, sort of like you like yourself, Francine. Francine, Jeffos, you know, built from.
I see.
Not from built from the ground up, but it's a case of this shell that's meant for soul from a fleshy body.
A soul.
I understand. Your thoughts are made from a living soul. These abominate. Heads are coming a dead soul.
I see.
Yeah, basically necromantic warforged.
Francine
Fun.
backs away from the picture.
It's not a picture; it's an actual body.
An actual body. Oh
yeah,
god.
it's a shell of the Fellforged
Oh
that we
god.
defeated in combat at one point.
All the more reason to back away.
Omnius gets closer.
How close are you getting?
Close.
The thing will burn your beak off.
It's not active. You guys beat it up.
Looks like.
Let us see. What does this look like? Oh, that's cool as hell.
What's not making you somewhat uncomfortable? Your animal nature.
Ah,
Dare you,
primeval fight or flight, I assume.
dare you touch it?
Fuck it, why not?
It's at this point there's a spark of lightning that goes on from a lightning conductor in the middle of the room that strikes the Felforged. And ominous, one moment you were touching the Felforged shell. You are now looking at paperwork on the other side of the room. You are now inhabiting the body of a gnome in a white scientist coat.
Ah. Oh no. I'm short.
God.
Is he
Not again!
I'm sorry, is he still in the room?
He's still in the room.
Okay.
The intern was the other side of the room.
Oh.
His body is still kind of there next to the shell, but his consciousness is across the room in another body.
And the owner of the other body is now looking at himself and having a mental breakdown.
Maybe we should advance or call someone or something.
Snark, do you know how to fix this?
Ominous, come here.
I guess I'm coming there.
Stand next to the Felfords, please.
Gnome gnome actions.
It's at this point, Snack grabs you by the back of the shirt, lifts you up, grabs your body, which is currently the gnome spirit is in, and probably causes you both to headbutt the Felforce. And there's another zap of static in the air. And Snark now slaps on the ominous body in the face, asking, "You in there now?"
5 more minutes, Mom.
I think he's in there.
Okay.
We
Harry,
should just.
back to work. Get the power core out of that thing I told you.
Carry on.
Carry on my wayward son.
Yes,
Okay,
my wayward son.
this is good. We're going for some paperwork. Your ladyship, give for us. You two, there's a room at the back. It's good for privacy. It's also a snack room when we're not burning things down. I'll be back at the moments when you're done if you want to discuss anything in private. My dear. And he just blinks off, dragging the gnome who is still having a panic attack.
I don't blame the poor thing.
Omnius is still on the floor.
What? Francine is moving on to the next room, and by the next room, I mean the room we just came from. And then she awkwardly turns around and is like, "This."
Apparently Snark wants to talk to us about something, it seems like. In private. It's like, my apologies for that display, Lady Kiki. This one is a bit too curious for his own good sometimes.
Maybe. But it does make life interesting, doesn't?
Interesting is definitely a word that could be applied to his actions, yes.
Unconscious. Well, not unconscious. On the floor, half asleep, wing basically broken.
Francine was probably pulled back into the room if she needs to be here for this. She's just like eyes on Omnius on the floor, and is like,
You have incredible endurance.
It's at the point Snark returns, mucking up bloody paperwork, grabs Ominous by the leg and just drags him off.
See, if Snark hadn't done it, Shifrost was going to start doing it.
Also, I point out that the lab's metal, for the sake of a lot of things to explode in here. And so it's case the plates bolted down to the floor and sort of not rather level. But every now and again, there's a bit of a drop, and Ominous feels every one of them.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
someone help my boy.
No, he deserves this.
He must learn to help himself.
I need to pick up a Lone Star, and times that's innocent here is Ominous.
Yep. I knew what I was getting into.
Oh.
Also, this is also it's just giving me more motivation to plan revenge.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So he leads you to a little snack privacy room at the back of the labs. Especially a little staff room with ventilation and noise padding. With a table in the middle with also metal screwed down to the floor with a plate of sandwiches on them. Snag just drops ominous into a chair.
Bleh.
Settles into one at the back himself.
There are chairs in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Francine sits down.
No, what's this nonsense then?
Which nonsense do you want to talk about first?
Okay, with all due respect to the ladyship, your reputation precedes you. You're either here on business, or mostly business. That is rather unfortunately true in the case of going down to the Lord the Winter's orphanage for the Children's Day business. Delightful business, but still business.
Business, business, business. Numbers.
So, boy, you paying your taxes yet? Marking careers.
I am learning what a tax is.
Ossifer, I've never paid a tax in my life.
Shit, Frost.
It's like, what do you want me to tell him about your taxes? You wouldn't listen to me when I tried to explain them earlier. You're not listening now. You will listen when they decide to put you in jail for it.
They'll have to catch me first.
You're being gripped by the leg currently.
Oh. That's a shame.
There's a grate in the middle of the room, right over the middle of the table. So at this point, you see the screws have been undone. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have a team that hit the table. The great hit comes down, and the ale golem lands next. They're so ominous.
Hello, friend.
And then you're probably blasted with his ale.
I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake.
It probably gives you a few slaps before then climbs back up into the ceiling and puts the grate back.
What's happening? Where am I?
Taxes, I believe.
I paid all my taxes.
That was what you were saying
Snark, just
before.
out of curiosity, you have any idea why Snorri is this upset at Omnius?
I think it's just a season. He was just the lucky one to get his attention this time.
I mean, I could understand it if he did that to Okosan on a daily basis now that Okosan is back, but not sure what Omnius has done to warrant his attention yet.
Hearing about this Oko-san character.
You will meet him eventually.
Do you
Lovely.
remember what happened in the kitchen?
Yes.
Okosan is inevitable.
Unfortunately.
Doesn't sound so bad.
I didn't think it was bad either. Now I have to watch out for fleas every 5 seconds.
He's on the loom, they're singing a song.
Granted, I don't mind the free food.
At this point,
Interesting.
Snark pulls out a little box, flies it across the desk to Lady Kiki. Before I forget, your order has been completed. And she lifts the box, lifts it up, it opens out with this little hand on the end. Operates the hand on it, plays not the most simple of tunes, but not the most complex either. A nice tune to dance. Just as the way incline.
Is it playing Wham! Last Christmas?
You don't dance to Wham.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. At the very next day, you gave it away.
Also, this session is going up decimal.
Well, shit.
Well, time to DMCA this entire video.
Well,
We're just gonna sing like a Beatles song.
It's at this point that Kiki pulled out Lego pieces from the little satchel she has to the side and pass it to Mark. Now, of course, your man Jeeves, who made the order, could have just come and collected himself. So, I is one such as famous, infamous as yourself. He looks at everyone in turn before remarking, a special auction is starting. I have particular interest in that auction, and as the invites came to me, also remarked that people may have some interest in there. I figured it was worth them to join me for hell.
And when I got my invite, I think these two were invited by accident.
There's no such thing as an accident.
I'm happy to be here.
We'll see if that attitude holds up.
I will do
Brave
my
face
best.
for Lady Kiki. Omnius is currently shitting his pants. Not actually, but
Do we at any moment have a case where it's a case where she needs to go, my eyes will.
maybe eventually, but I think that'll have to wait for Heart and Soul.
to be fair, he's very tiny. I bet it's hard to. I'm assuming you're tiny at least.
How tall did I make him on my character sheet? Yeah, 5'3".
Okay, you probably can't tell he's looking at the boobs anyway.
Not 5 inches.
I
He-
do have Goggles of the Night.
5
I
inches.
just put those on.
5 inches and whatever her heels.
Hmm. You're the tallest person in the group right now, and you're still short.
Wow. That is objectively funny.
I mean, Cyrano's not here, so.
Yeah.
Give it time.
Yeah. That's just kind of funny. Anyways, brave face for Lady Kiki.
Auction. Now that we have some privacy held by higher powers. How is referred to
Mortals?
Shifrost has already worked this out in his head.
Omnius doesn't know shit.
Scene is questioning if she's mortal because she's not organic, but she can die.
yours have been an artificial life form? Do you have a soul or not? Shall we explore that? Who knows?
Suddenly we recreate the Next Generation episode, What is a Man?
What is a man? What has he
He
got?
got.
A miserable pile of secrets.
Is all he's got.
Thank you, Layla.
You're welcome.
Right, keen thought of
That's a thing Omnius recognizes.
probably they owed a boon or party and just tired of waiting. They just said he has
This was a very interesting way to repay that.
The Court of Winter. Omnius is a very superstitious bird.
those
The Court of Winter.
Someplace I'm going to regret ending up.
winter and what the Lord's a lady of Bay.
I see. That doesn't sound so horrible.
Do you know
I
what
don't
the
trust the
Fae
Fae.
are?
I don't trust a Fae farther than I can throw one.
I know they are mischievous people and creatures with very unique powers.
Well, Omnius, have you heard of Baba Yaga?
No, not again.
Tell me,
I would recommend avoiding alcoholic beverages in future then.
does Ominous wear the brown pants?
Omnius doesn't wear any pants.
It's like you're shit out of luck.
I approve.
Those pendant with the High Lords and Lady. There will be archstep. Others, a godlike power. Creating in
Chifros.
memory.
Chifros, I don't suppose I have an option to leave now, do I?
You have the option to leave. Consequences may follow.
Great. I don't think I'm making any money on this, am I?
You may not be making life on this.
Great.
Worse to worse, she starts to pull out the maul again.
That isn't going to work, unfortunately.
Slowly slides the maul back into the satchel.
Trust me when I say you don't fuck with the Fae.
These are beings that you do not show overt violence in front of.
Oh, I see.
Like, even
They're
Omnius
pacifists.
has enough intelligence to the point where he knows not to mess with Fae.
I see. They're pacifists.
No, not pacifists, but they will squash you like bug if they think you are a threat.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
happens to my cousin.
And may even be celestial citizens.
Okay, Francine knows what a celestial is.
Fae, devils, celestial, possibly things in far realms. Edmund is neutral ground. They must behave lest they be ejected. Rules are to be obeyed.
Here's the Fae we're talking about. Finding ways around rules is like their whole thing.
Fays and devils. For contract deals. You can see she's Lady Kiki's brewing. It'll say absence as she seems to be gone off to other trains of thought.
Just following along at this point.
Yeah.
Myself and Master people have been invited. Did you and the rest of your party imagine that better of attending you obey the rules?
Although, I will say, you will have many eyes on you. Just because you are not one of them.
Well, I'm used to having eyes on me. Nothing different.
Agreed. I would not be surprised.
Best you plaything. Born to be lateral casting.
Well, maybe my boss will show up. E.g. the Wind King.
I have feeling I may get extra set of eyes on me.
Are you well known to them?
I am very well known to one of them.
I'm gonna stay away from you.
I would suggest I could be your bodyguard, but violence is clearly out of the question.
I am giving you a lesson on who exactly Baba Yaga is after this.
Oh, that would be very helpful, thank you.
She doesn't like anyone.
Oh, doesn't like Pete.
Well, she doesn't like me.
That sounds complicated.
She's not a big fan of Oko-san either.
What does she
Again
have
with
against
this-
birds?
Tell me the word. Grandmother.
Reasons?
Oh, so she's a racist. What a shame.
Has Ominous been involved in pyramid schemes? Not mercy for Baba Yagas.
I may have robbed her grandson.
Okay, maybe she's a little justified.
I came into this with barely anything. I think we're struggling at the moment, but good God, the stuff we're getting out of this.
Yeah.
Does anyone you are related to have ever reneged on contract with Baba Yaga?
No.
Lucky person.
Pat pat. Omnius just takes out a gold coin, bites it with his beak, says a little prayer to whatever god of wealth exists. Baba Yaga, don't curse me. Baba Yaga, don't curse me. Baba Yaga, don't curse me.
Sounds like we'll need to be prepared for this, Baba Yaga. What do we need to do?
Run the opposite direction.
Oh, Baba Yaga probably will not directly interfere with anyone except me. Who knows, though?
I keep cycling back to the mall. I am so sorry. I wish I could help in some other way.
My dear, your enthusiasm is admirable.
Thank you.
You are your most credit.
Of course.
You just
After meeting you for a few minutes, Baba Yaga may invite you for tea.
Oh, that would be lovely. I'm sensing it's not that lovely, is it?
It probably will be for you.
Not for me.
Then I suppose I do have a backup plan. When are we supposed to be heading out anyway?
This auction is tomorrow.
tomorrow. Someone will be coming to Andy's right.
For many reasons. I should prepare notes for other members of team.
At this point, there's a muffled sound of explosion inside. Mark just jumps out of his chair and, oh, this is all well and fun. My apologies for you, all those of you who've been drawn into this mess. For one
Not
reason
at
or
all.
another. If you see in day after tomorrow, I've got interns. And the door closes behind him and you get to start him yelling.
This
Very
can
busy
only
man.
go well.
Well, that's nice. At least.
Remind me to teach you what sarcasm is.
I'll do.
I'm sure that will be a great lesson.
I'm just envisioning that him as trying to frighten Paul Vimmers.
Lady Kiki, do you have any advice for me before tomorrow?
No. I've been to the auction a few times already. A case of play the rules, careful what you say, very careful. We're not ready for.
Francine, rule 1 when dealing with Fae. If any of them ask if they can have your name, say no.
Understood.
Rule 2. If they offer you a deal, don't take it. Politely decline.
Understood.
And if all else fails, I'm hiding in the hat.
That's
Like
good
the
to know.
Fae can't see you in there.
Oh, they can. I just don't have to talk to them in there.
They're like, ugh, this weirdo.
Unfortunately, I do not have any items to actually offer. But there must be a reason I am summoned to this particular auction.